talking about how to prepare for a recession or the recession, depending on when you're watching this. Today's video is not financial advice. I just want to be clear. I am licensed, so I have to say that. This is not financial advice. Look, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that inflation is at a 40-year high. You know that interest rates are rising. Not sure if you noticed, but gas prices have hit frightening levels. The stock market is taking investors on a crazy ride with terrifying drops. Even if you haven't looked lately, you probably know the value of retirement account is probably down. Meanwhile, cryptocurrencies are crashing, people are getting liquidated, and now you're hearing that we may be in a recession or one is inevitable. So look, telling you to calm down or that this too shall pass doesn't really address the anxiety that you're feeling about your financial well-being. It's okay. You don't have to feel like things are okay. But what you shouldn't do is make moves based on your fears that could put you in a worse financial position. Recessions don't last forever. Instead, I want you to see this as your opportunity. Look, I was told a long time ago that you learn 100 times more about yourself and life when things get hard. And the reason you're gonna learn more is because now you're paying attention. The learning is anchored in the emotion. So prepare as much as you can, because once we get through this one, if there is one, the next one is around the corner. You gotta learn. It's just a cycle. I will say this, the challenging part about this looming recession is that interest rates are on the rise, which is actually the opposite what usually happens in a recession. So what I'm about to share with you is 10 times more important than any other time in my life. All right, you ready to go? Here are the keys to prepare for a recession. Key number 1, bulk up your emergency savings. Look, the average peak to trough down market is on average 12 months. I believe the peak of the market was approximately January 2022, which means December 2022 is 12 months. I'm not saying that that's gonna be the bottom. I'm not saying that we've reached that. But what I am saying is that, in my opinion, you should have at least 6 months emergency fund saved in cash. Now, I don't care where you save that. You should consult a financial professional, even if it's in a shoebox. But by you having at least 6 months saved in cash reserved for this down market and potential recession, or the one that we're potentially entering into, is gonna save you down the road. My next key, don't try and time the market. Look, trying to time the market is like trying to catch a falling knife. If you're saving right now for your future, start dollar cost averaging. What that means is that start saving on a monthly basis. Start November, December, January, February. When you do that, you're gonna average out your returns. You're gonna reduce your overall risk, and it's gonna help you buy the dips. Those that dollar cost average in recessions usually come out laughing on the outside. Those of us that are just sitting on the sidelines, not willing to take any risk, not willing to invest, sometimes that's a mistake. Now again, talk to your financial professional, but in my opinion, do not try and time the market. If you insist on investing and you still wanna move forward with your savings plan, which isn't necessarily a bad idea, I recommend dollar cost averaging into the market. My next key is this. If you are holding high interest debt or any debt that's basically above prime, I want you to get rid of all your debt as fast as possible using what's called avalanche debt strategy. This is an actual strategy to help you pay off debt a lot quicker, and hardly anybody knows about it, and I'm gonna show you how it works. The debt avalanche method is basically an accelerated debt payment method which can help be applied to multiple outstanding debt balances that are waiting to be repaid. And your individually month payments, as long as they're not fixed, they go to the specific debt that needs to be paid off. Basically what it is, it follows a rollover process, which means that when you repay one of the debts, the freed up payment amount is now reallocated amongst the rest of the debts. You keep paying the same monthly payment, so your payments don't go up. The process always directs the release payment to the debt with the highest interest rate, ensuring the lowest possible financial charge and the fastest repayment of the debt. Look, this is going to ensure that you don't pay even $1 extra in interest that you need to. You cannot afford to be throwing money at all your debt without any clue on a strategy or how to pay down that debt. I'm gonna show you how to do it here in a second. One of my favorite debt avalanche calculators can be found at omnicalculator.com. I'm gonna pull it up right here. You see, this is my favorite debt avalanche calculator. So let's say, for example, that you had a few debts. Let's say debt number one, you owed $12,000 on a credit card at 18%, and you were paying, let's say you were paying down $250 a month. Let's say you had a second credit card, a little bit lower interest at 12%, you're throwing 200, right? Does this look familiar, right? Let's say you had another credit card at $3,000 that you had at 18% and you were throwing another $200 at. And let's say last but not least, you had $6,000, and let's say it was lower at 4%, and you were putting about $100 a month towards that debt. So here's how this works, okay? Your total debt is $26,000. If you keep doing what you're doing, you're gonna have this debt paid off in 7 years and 2 months. But if you apply the debt avalanche strategy, your debt is gonna get paid off in 3 years and 9 months. 86 months versus 45 months. And look at the interest that you save. Instead of paying $11,287 of interest, you're only gonna pay $7,000 of interest. Wow. That is how using a debt avalanche calculator can change your life. Now, a lot of you watching are looking at that debt going, well, you know what? I have a bit more than that. If you're in a relationship and you have 3-4 kids, maybe you got a couple cars, a couple credit cards, and you're just throwing money at all this debt, you need a strategy and you have to avalanche your debt. That's what the pros do. The only way to get rid of this debt as fast as possible with the cash flow that you currently bring in is to apply the debt avalanche strategy. And it is a must, and I want you to start it immediately. All right, my next key, learn how to budget and live within your means. Look, it's always a good time to budget, but especially in recession. This is your opportunity to have all your spending accounted for. I want you to have a month-end budget meeting with you and your partner, and I want you to start to treat your financial picture like you're a company. The day you start to treat your personal financial situation like it's a company, and you're the CFO, the chief financial officer of that company, which is your personal state of affairs, that's when you start to move the needle. I want you to be accounted for every single dollar that goes out, every single dollar that comes in. At the end of every month, I want you to run a budget. Now, there's lots of different ways to run a budget. And I used to be one of these guys that tried to do it on my own. And, don't worry about me. I'm going to figure it out. And I had an Excel spreadsheet over here and I had a Word document over here. But guess what? At the end of the month, I never reconciled. I never did it. And I got caught many times not using a budget. Now, there's lots of tools you can use. I'm going to show you a website that highlights a few of the most popular tools. And I'm going to tell you the one that I have been using for years that's helped keep me on track. So if you go over here to goodfinancialsense.com, you'll see that they have lots of recommended budget tools. Now, depending on what country you live in, for example, personal capital here listed at number 2, that doesn't apply to Canada. I've already tried it. So my preferred budgeting tool is Mint, mint.com. Mint.com is one of the best budgeting tools that you can find. It's free. And of course, it gets you on the right path. Right? You don't have to start with something where you're paying $100 a month. You don't have to invest all this money. You just need something. And remember, done is always better than perfect. So I recommend popping over to goodfinancialsense.com, doing some research and finding a budgeting tool that works for you. Free, of course, is really good, especially in times like this. And I want you to focus on running your personal finances like it's a Fortune 500 company. And I want you to watch your confidence go up, and I want you to watch your stress go down. And especially now with the recession looming, this is more important than any other time in my history that we pay attention to this right now. Okay, here's my next key. Create multiple streams of income. Look, one income stream in a recession can get you into trouble. It can make you feel trapped. Hey, it's 2022. I believe that you need 2 income streams anyway. Maybe you have it built into your business like I do. I have multiple streams built into my business, but you can't just rely on your salary, or you can't just rely on commission. Look, if you're just on commission, you need commission and overrides and residuals and renewals. If you're just on a salary right now, you need a salary and an Airbnb or a side hustle or something else. In my opinion, you can't just keep relying on one salary. You have to figure it out. You can't just rely on one stream. If you're just in commission, you're just in sales, and you only get paid up from commission, that's only one stream. Now is the time to diversify. We're in the technological era. You can start a business from home. If you're a fit, you might even be able to join my business if you're a fit. But you need to find something where you can start to earn income separate from your main source. And in a recession is a great time to start and a great time to scale that second stream. Okay, here's the next key to surviving in a recession. I want you to live on one income and I want you to save the other income in cash. You should live on the main income that you're bringing in. I want you to save 100% of the side hustle that you have in cash. Don't live on your side hustle cash. We just talked about having two income streams. Live on one, save the other. If you can't live on just your salary and you have to also be spending your side hustle cash, that's a sign that you need to get a new salary, you need to get a new job, or you need to get a new main source of income. I believe that you should have at least two, especially in the recession. And I also believe that you should be able to live on one and save all of the other money that you're bringing in cash. You know, I see in our business, we recruit people part-time while they're getting trained up. And one of the biggest mistakes they make is they were living on their salary when they joined my team, but they start making money here part-time. And instead of saving all of that money they're making part-time, they're spending it. So now they're living on the money that they were making at their job, and they're living on the money also that they're making here, and they wonder why they struggle to come full-time. Always live on your main source of income and save the side hustle money in cash, especially in a looming recession. Okay, here's one of my favorite keys to focus on in a recession. Consider a recession-proof job. Look, I'm in the insurance industry. That's just one example. When times are good, insurance industry's up. When times are bad, the insurance industry's up. The other thing about our industry is that not only do we get paid up front, we get paid residually. So we get paid every year, regardless, as long as we service the client and the policy stays on the books. I have a lot of friends that are in industries like oil and gas or real estate. And you know what? When times are good, they're making a ton of money, but they always forget that that cycles. And then when times are bad, they're always complaining they're not making any money. Now's the time, right? Now's the time to get into a recession-proof industry because look, everybody needs to find a path that's best for their family. And I'm not telling you what career to choose, but what I am telling you that maybe now is the time to change your career path sooner than later. And I recommend choosing a recession-proof business. All right, now you are better equipped to not only get through the recession, but to possibly thrive through it. So thank you for joining me. Get ready, get prepped, because I'm telling you, the next one's coming. Hey, let me know in the comments what your takeaways were from this episode. I would love to read them. And as always, thank you for tuning in. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.